Love is the light of the heart, a story of heartbreak and redemption. Love is the light of the heart. Without it, hearts are blind. Hazrat Ali, R.A., once said, "But what happens when the one you love leaves and the world feels dark? What if that heartbreak is not the end, but the beginning of something far greater?" This is the story of a man who lost love, only to find the light that can never fade. Those words had echoed in Zayan's mind ever since he first read them on a dusty old book in the corner of a London library. He had been 22 then, naive and confident, believing that love was a game of charm, smiles, and fleeting excitement. But years later, as he stood alone on the rain-slicked streets of Shoreditch, those words felt like a prophecy he had ignored. The evening drizzle blurred the city lights into streaks of gold and neon. Zayan's phone lay on the wet pavement beside him, its screen cracked from where he had thrown it moments ago. The message that had shattered him still blinked. "I can't do this anymore. I'm sorry, Aliyah." The name felt heavy, a weight pressing on his chest that no amount of breathing could lift. She had been everything. Laughter that lit the darkest nights, a hand to hold in stormy London winters, a heart that beat in rhythm with his own. And now she was gone. He remembered the first day they met. Camden Market, with its vibrant colors and chaotic energy, had been alive with music and chatter. Zayan had spilled his coffee on her notebook, and she had laughed, that laugh that could pierce the coldest walls. They had laughed together, shared stories, dreams, even secrets too heavy for others to bear. For a time, it had felt like magic, as if destiny had threaded their souls together in invisible gold. But life had a way of testing the illusions we cling to. Years passed. Work pressures mounted. Ambitions clashed. Small misunderstandings became mountains, and love, once a blazing fire, turned into smoldering ashes. Zayan thought he could fix it all, that love alone would be enough. But sometimes, love isn't enough for the heart that has grown tired of waiting. Now, standing in the cold rain, Zayan felt his own blindness. He had chased everything but the one who could fill the emptiness inside. The luxurious flat, the sleek car, the invitations to elite parties. None of it mattered when the heart was hollow. He wandered aimlessly, his mind a whirlwind of regret. The city hummed around him, strangers passing by with umbrellas and hurried footsteps. He had no umbrella. He didn't care. The rain mixed with his tears as he trudged toward the River Thames, its dark waters reflecting the gray clouds above. Memories flooded him. Aliyah's smile when he surprised her on her birthday. The evenings they spent in tiny cafes, talking about poetry, faith, and dreams. The quiet nights in his apartment when they simply held hands, speaking without words. Every memory was a dagger and a salve at once. "Why did I wait so long to say what mattered?" he whispered, his voice lost in the rain. "Why did I ignore the heart that knew its own light?" Then a thought struck him. It wasn't just Aliyah he had lost. He had lost himself, lost his connection to the one who placed love in the heart to guide it, not blind it. All this time, he had sought validation in human affection, forgetting the eternal love that never abandoned, that never betrayed, that never left. He remembered his grandfather's words, spoken years ago with a softness Zayan had ignored. "Zayan, love without Allah is like a candle in the wind. It flickers, fades, and dies. But love guided by Allah, that light can never be extinguished." The rain continued, but in the depths of his sorrow, a spark ignited. He whispered a name, a plea almost forgotten, "Allah." It was the beginning of a journey he hadn't known he needed. The days that followed were quiet but profound. Zayan sought solace in small things. The call to prayer from a distant mosque, the whisper of leaves in Regent's Park, the simple act of helping strangers without expectation. Each act chipped away at the darkness in his heart, and slowly he began to see, not just with his eyes, but with his soul. One evening, sitting by the river, he took out his journal, a forgotten habit, and began to write. Words poured out, confessions, regrets, prayers, hopes. He wrote to Allah, seeking guidance, seeking clarity, seeking light. And then came the moment of true revelation. It wasn't a miraculous vision or a thunderclap from the sky. It was quiet, subtle, almost imperceptible. A sense of peace settled over him, a gentle warmth in the chest that spoke louder than any heartbreak or longing. He realized that while Aaliyah's departure had broken him, it had also opened a door to a love far greater, a love eternal, unshakable, and illuminating. Months passed. Zayan began volunteering at a local community center, teaching underprivileged children and helping in food drives. The city still dazzled with its relentless pace, but he no longer felt lost. He understood now that love could heal, not just through romance, but through compassion, devotion, and faith. Then, one evening, as he walked through a quiet street, he saw her. Aaliyah. She had changed, or perhaps he had. Their eyes met, and for a moment, the years of pain and longing surged back. But instead of desperation, he felt serenity. They talked, not about heartbreak, not about blame, but about life, growth, and the paths they had taken. Aaliyah smiled softly. "I see you found light," she said. "Yes," Zayan replied. "And I know now that the greatest light is not in anyone's heart, but in Allah's mercy and guidance. Everything else is just a reflection." They parted that evening, not as lovers bound by need, but as souls awakened, understanding that true love begins with faith. And as Zayan walked home, the city lights no longer felt cold or distant. They reflected the light he had found within, a light that could never fade. Zayan returned to his apartment, knelt, and prayed. Tears fell, not of sorrow, but of gratitude. He whispered the words that had carried him from heartbreak to healing. "Rabbana, guide my heart. Illuminate it with your love, and let me never be blind again." That night, London slept, unaware of the quiet miracle that had unfolded on its rain-soaked streets. A man had lost love, only to find it in its truest, most eternal form. And in that light, Zayan's heart could finally see. 1-minute viral hook, rewritten for YouTube video. Visuals, rainy streets, reflections in puddles, close-up of Zayan's eyes, soft piano, and violin. Love is the light of the heart. Without it, hearts are blind. Hazrat Ali, R.A., once said, "But what if your heart has been blind all along? What if the heartbreak you fear is actually the path to the greatest love of all?" Watch as one man loses everything, only to discover a love that can never fade. If you felt the power of this story, share it to inspire someone today. Let them see that heartbreak is not the end, but a beginning, and the greatest love is the one guided by Allah. Follow Deeninminute for more stories that touch the heart, awaken the soul, and light the way. And remember, never let your heart be blind.